But I gotta be
Said I gotta be strong. Said I gotta be strong. I've been gone for way too long. Time to find my way.
Oh my God, we have the most amazing divine show for you today with Athena Castaldi. We're calling her Tina Castaldi with her amazing spiritual reboot camp. And I'm so honored and so blessed to have Chief Phil Lane Jr. And would you please give us your Indian Nation name?
Yes, I'm a member of the Ahankwa Dakota, Ihawa Chasa, Auyate, Yankton Sioux tribe, and Chickasaw Nation. And my Dakota names that I was given when I was 12 by my grandfather, Walter Strongheart, is Shunkamanu. In its long form, it means a leader of warriors who takes the enemy's best horses. In short, it means horse thief. And the second name I was given when I was 24 was my grandfather, Frank White Buffalo Man, gave me the name Chinupa Sapa. In its long form, means a sacred black pipe born of thunder, lightning, and rain. In short, it means black pipe.
Okay, and what's really interesting, could you just point out the significance of that pipe, that there is a significance?
Well, there's so many significances, just like there is in anything that reflects the eternal. And of course, the color black.
For people who don't know what the pipe is for the
well,
Indians.
for us, this was a representation of the universe.
Okay.
Because the bowl represents the earth, the mineral people, the water and the earth. Also, it represents women from Mother Earth.
Yes. Okay.
The stem, which makes from the plant world, represents all the plant people.
Okay.
And then along with the bundle, with the pipe, there's always a feather or something representing the animal people. And so when you put that all together, you put the pipe together, the stem, the male, the bowl, the woman.
Okay.
And you take and you have then the pipe, of course, then represents the human being. You turn it upwards, the bowl of the pipe with the where you put the tobacco in, that's the mouth of the human being.
Got it.
And so when you put that together, it's the joining of our male and female dimensions into one.
I love it. Okay, which is where we're headed in this shift of the ages. So let me say that your resume is so impressive and so long. I need a whole show just to talk about your life. So we're going to highlight some of the amazing things that you're doing. But first, Jose Munoz is the Mayan daykeeper of the new Six Sun calendar.
How Kinicha, how brother?
How there, brother?
Connect to the airwaves. So
Yes.
we're here to listen today's energy of the day, Akbal Lehef, which is the wisdom of the night. So throughout the day, for the next 24 hours, we are here to listen, brothers and sisters. Listen to the messages from the inside and from the outside of this planet, as we are in a emergency call to unite to save this planet. This is the wisdom of the night, and it's here we connect throughout the day and through the night. We are here to make a call to remember together that we are going to have this opportunity of a lifetime to save the world, as our mothers and fathers used to tell us.
All right.
We are going to be heroes to save the world. That is the energy of the day. And thank you for bringing these messengers, eternal walkers of the path, the shining path. Thank you for being there.
Now, Chief, okay, I saw your movie, The Shift of the Ages, and I didn't get it until last night, literally, the email. And so in the wee hours of the night, because I was working on editing a new video, I said, okay, I got to watch this, and I cried. I mean, my heart opened up. It literally answered so many things for me about my journey, and I certainly understood why that film, The Shift of the Ages, has won so many awards. And so I bow to you and I honor you for that great work that you did. You've done so many great things. You have been instrumental in bringing together all of these indigenous nations around the world and their sacred knowledge and sharing it. And so today we're going to be talking about the eagle and the condor prophecy. There's 16 principles that you're going to share with us in today's show. And we're also going to talk just very briefly about why Panama, the Panama nation, is so significant right now. And we're just going to pack it all in to this 1 hour. But before we get started, I want to say that without your movie, I would not have understood this incredible push that I've had to reconnect with the Mayan people, going to Chichen Itza and the incredible experience that I had there, and going to the pyramids in Mexico and the butterflies showing up for me, going to Mount Shasta and millions of butterflies, stopping me on the road, yellow butterflies showing up, and then Jose finally telling me, well, you're a leader of the butterfly tribe of unity. So many things happen to us and we don't understand until someone comes and explains it. And so your film explained why, when I first met you the other night, and you said the Panama nation and that they were sovereign, I was like, why didn't I know this? Okay, I got to go. I have to be there. And my goddaughter is listening, and when we were in Morocco over the holidays, we planned our trip to Machu Picchu this year. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know why I've had this call to go to Machu Picchu. So your film answered so much of that, and why so many of us are being called to go to these sacred places and to meet people, and we don't know why. It was like, I met you the other night and I knew you.
Yes,
When I met Athena, I knew her. So this is so beautiful and so heartwarming and so necessary and so vital at this time in our history, that, the indigenous people are so important, because you guys have done the sacred work for the land, holding that vibration for us. And the indigenous people have suffered so much, and the genocide and the extermination, and you've done so much work in terms of reparations. I mean, I have to honor what you've done for the people in Canada, in terms of, I think it's historic, isn't it? The award that you got?
Yes.
Oh my God. So just talk about it. I mean, just roll with it.
Well, first of all, let me say that because of this great love and compassion and heart-touching experience you had last evening, what I'd like to do is make available to all your listeners, without cost, a link into the film Shift of the Ages as a gift.
Thank you.
For all your love and kindness.
What a blessing. So we're going to post that on Divine Love Talk Facebook page. So you have to watch this film, guys. It's not just for the light workers, but you're going to understand what's happening at this auspicious and momentous time in the history of the planet. And I'm so honored and so blessed to be in your presence, and to honor this work that you're doing and that you're continuing to do. And you're doing it in such a beautiful way, by focusing on what's possible, versus what has been impossible, but at the same time being very conscious about the fact that we have to honor our suffering. We have to honor the wounded psyche. And as a social psychologist, I can't say enough about how important it is for us to heal that wounded psyche.
Absolutely.
And we can't heal it if we deny it. That it happened. And so we honor the pain and the suffering of all the indigenous people, and we thank all the indigenous people of the planet for holding that vibration for Mother Earth, because I know without the work that the indigenous people have been doing to keep this planet, together, none of us would be here today.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's very important at this time to say that we all, every one of us on Mother Earth, is an indigenous person to Mother Earth.
Yes.
And that really those indigenous people who held on to that connection to Mother Earth, our first teacher of all of us, is now just who help all of us remember who our mother really is,
And we need
and
that.
how we need to protect and restore the sacred.
Oh my God, yes.
And to do that, it means that we have to understand the oneness of life, and most importantly, the spiritual reality. There's only one human family,
Yes.
and the hurt of one is the hurt of all,
Absolutely.
and the honor of one is the honor of all.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's so funny. I went to India to Oneness University, you know, so long ago with Bhagavan because he was doing the work of oneness, bringing people together. And I was brought there because of the work I've been doing on college campuses, bringing, you know, racism, you know, getting rid of racism with all of the different factions on college campuses. And then now I'm looking at your work and what the Walking Wolf, you know, that film, Shift of the Ages,
Yes.
the work that he has done. So he influenced you in some kind of way, or you influenced him. What's the connection there?
Well, you know, more than 500 years ago, there existed across the Americas the union of the condor, the quetzal, and the eagle. And living across the Americas at that time were more than 100 million indigenous people. 100 million indigenous people. And most people would not realize that.
And they don't want to believe it, I'm sure.
Yes, but now, you know, the anthropologists now are putting all the information together, and we know that there was that many indigenous people living here. Now, many of them had already died by the 1800s because of diseases.
Yeah.
They didn't even know that what hit them.
And many of them inflicted intentionally, the
Yes,
smallpox.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And others that just passed on so quickly. You know, the
Yeah.
mountain cities that run up the Mississippi
Yes.
River. They said, what happened to the people there? Well, they found a coin that was coined in Jamestown when Jamestown was founded that had reached there within just a few short years because of the kinship trails, the trails that crisscrossed across the Americas. We call kinship trails because
sure.
along those trails we made relatives.
Right, of course.
And that every highway and byway across the Americas is built on a former trade route of this great union
Of the
of the
Indians.
condor, the quetzal, and the eagle.
Okay,
Now,
so we're getting ready to go into commercial break. I want to thank Tina Castaldi and her spiritual boot camp that she has put together, and we're going to talk about that after commercial break, but we're going to finish this story. So hang in there, Tina. Tina Castaldi with Tina Castaldi's boot camp, who actually put us together and who has this amazing spiritual boot camp that reboots your soul and balances all four bodies, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And I want to very quickly, Athena, before the chief finishes his story, explain why it's so important if we're spiritual people to do the work on our physical body.
Well, I just want to say that my boot camp is a preparation to do the great work, which is what the chief is doing. Is that if we can heal our own physical bodies and our emotional body and our mental body and our spiritual body, then we actually have the space and the consciousness to ask those deep questions. Who am I? Why was I born? And what is my purpose?
Yeah.
And once we realize that our purpose is to be in service to the divine and to help our brothers and sisters on the planet and to treat the planet like divinity, our mother Gaia, is something that we can participate in and be in harmony with instead of being opposed with.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm rebooting people to actually point at a larger, grander message. And so it's an honor just to be sitting next to the chief.
Thank you so much for that. And I want to encourage people to go to, what's your website?
Castaldi's with an S,
Okay.
Castaldis, bootcamp.com.
All right, and reboot your soul. Okay, now, Chief, you were talking about giving us a little bit of the history of the eagle and condor prophecy, and so I'd like for you to finish that, and you know how it connects with
Sure.
America, Central America, and South America.
well, if you can imagine the Americas 140 years ago, you had 100 million indigenous people living here. You had kinship trails crisscrossing across the entire Americas where trade was unfolding. You had very little conflict going on at the
Isn't that
time.
interesting?
You had a common cosmovision although all tribes and nations have particular ways of expressing this cosmovision, the understanding of the four directions, the understanding of our relationship in a sacred manner to Mother Earth and
Yes.
Father Sky, that there is a higher power, that there is a spiritual world beyond this world when we leave our physical earth suit. All these things were shared.
Yes.
And the messages move very quickly across the hemisphere.
Okay.
And so when prophecies were given all across the Americas, they promised that a great spiritual wintertime was coming, a great
Wow.
time of spiritual learning,
Gives me chills.
a great time of challenge, because it's through the tests and difficulties we go through life that we fulfill our purpose, and that is to grow spiritually.
And it happened.
And that happens through challenges many
Yeah.
times. And so, sure enough,
500 years of it.
1492, other relatives arrived, as was predestined.
Yeah.
This was a predestined meeting.
Yeah.
And the wintertime began, and the main lesson for us to understand that simply materialism and greed is not going to fill our souls.
No.
Right.
And so that's
We've had
why
500
the
years
entire
of it.
entire human
Industrial
family
Revolution.
has gotten totally mesmerized by things that only satisfy the physical senses,
Trinkets.
by trinkets,
Yeah.
in an illusionary, very transitory world. And so in that process, many people became disconnected from their mother,
Yeah.
disconnected from respect and honor of women.
Look
And
at the
they've-
planet. Look
Exactly,
at what we're doing.
exactly.
I look at the sky every day,
Yes.
and the government is poisoning the sky.
Absolutely.
And the denial about it. I mean, I have the
Absolutely.
official papers and the patents showing that the government is doing it, and it's incredible. The people won't even look up.
Yes, absolutely. So in 1970, I had the very great honor and gift of going to Bolivia and being there. Bolivia.
Okay.
And being there with these old elders.
And that's in the film, right?
Yes,
Shift of the Ages.
yes.
So
Yes, well, so the spiritual wintertime was foretold.
okay.
And so when the Spaniards arrived, when others came to Turtle Island or the north part of the Americas, the Hopis had actually shared that this would happen.
Okay.
To look to the western part of this land, you'll see people will come, and many of them, not all of them, will have forgotten that we're one, will have forgotten the time we were all gathered beneath the sacred tree. Now, this, of course, was a tremendous challenge, and it's so easy to hold on to hold on to grudges.
Yes.
This is why we wrote The Sacred Tree.
I'm holding it up. This is
with
an important, very small book, but very powerful.
Yes.
That will reconnect everyone on the planet who reads it to their divine purpose in life and understand the ceremonies that the Indians have been doing for centuries
Yes.
to hold the vibration of the planet of love from Mother Earth.
And the preface is done by my elder sister, who was formally adopted into our nation, into my family, Dr. Jane Goodall, who's been such a great
My hero.
You bet.
Total
Yes.
hero.
great person, has supported us in every way. And this is the basic cosmovision, the foundation that you'll find across Americas and actually throughout Africa and throughout the indigenous world. And it's very simple for us to really think about in terms of understanding it. Our mother was our first teacher.
Thank you.
We all sat before the sacred fire of life somewhere in our history.
So let me give a quick little pitch. You want to pick up this book, and it's at fwii.net, and it stands for
Four Worlds International Institute.
.net, because it's not just, by buying this book, you are serving yourself with knowledge and understanding of your part that you need to play, but you're also helping to contribute to this great work that Chief Lane is doing for the planet.
Yes, it all goes to the reunion, the Condor, the Quetzal, and the Eagle.
Okay, and so continue that process.
Yes, so fast forward to 1970, I traveled to Bolivia as a young man and meet all these wonderful elders who, as young men themselves, carried this on from their elders to their elders to their elders. And I'd heard of this prophecy because Black Elk, Kehakasapa, in his great vision, talks about this as well, this coming together of the human family. And this is not just about indigenous people coming together. This is about the entire human family coming together. This is the day that we recognize the oneness of the human family. And of course, coming with that means the elimination of all prejudice.
Yeah.
Every bit of prejudice,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
we're one. The herd of one is the herd of all, and the honor of one is the honor of all. Now, from there in 1970, for 2 years, I walked the Andes, primarily with the Quechua relatives. Went to Lake Titicaca at a time when nobody
That's
was
where I'm
coming
going
there.
this year. Morgan
No-
and I are going
Yes,
to Lake
we went to the
Titicaca.
island of the sun,
Yes.
where Mako Kapak
Machu Picchu.
was born, and his beautiful wife walked across the water and walked with a golden staff. And whenever that golden staff,
Yes.
they told him every night they'd put it into the earth. And when it finally sunk into the earth, that's where they would found the Inca Empire. It
Okay.
happened in Cusco.
Yes, Cusco. Yes. You have
And-
to land there to go to Machu Picchu.
Absolutely. so since that time, I guess it's been now 46 years, I've been traveling and working with indigenous people across the Americas.
So now let's very quickly, for the audience, summarize the prophecy. Okay, what does the condor mean? I know Quetzal refers to the Mexican nation.
Yeah, well, really, the Condor, by the way, which is clear up here in California, really was across the
Both of the-
South America, and the Quetzal is their might say sacred bird
Yes.
of the Central America, and
Yeah.
of course eagle for the north.
Yes.
Now it's interesting though. This is not just north and south.
But it's east and west.
The word Caracas means eagle.
Okay.
And prior to the coming of the Spanish to that area, above Caracas, if you've been there, there's a high plateau,
Okay.
and you can see the ruins of the indigenous city there.
Okay.
If you look down on Caracas, before it was Caracas, it was called the Sacred Lake of the Eagle.
Wow.
The lake was formed exactly like an eagle, and there they have eagles. So
Okay.
it's also east-west.
Okay. Yes.
And so
North,
just
south,
like
east, west. There you
just,
go.
just like we knew the place of the 7 sacred lakes, which is now Mexico City.
Yes.
Wow.
And they founded the whole city on a lake based
Exactly.
on that bird landing.
7 sacred lakes are in
Yeah.
there. And along the Gulf of Mexico in the past, had you been here 520 years ago, you would have seen light fires burning during the night, all night long,
Yes.
guiding commerce across the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay, so what is the prophecy? You got to tell them.
Well, the prophecy is that after this 500-year period, which lasted until
pretty
1992,
much darkness.
the darkness, the time that we would
Of
have to learn
separation, yeah.
that we could not forget our Mother Earth. We
Okay.
had to honor women. We had to. The eagle has 2 wings. One is men and one is women. Until both wings of the eagle have equal power and respect,
Okay.
the eagle will never fly its highest. There really now began a movement of many different people. The peace and dignity runs across the America of young people running on foot.
So the prophecy is that
We will
all
rise
come-
up together
Okay.
as a human family
Uh-huh.
and form a new global civilization.
There you go. That's the prophecy, people.
That is a prophecy,
And it's
100%,
happening.
and it's happening.
Yes,
and it's
as we
happening
speak.
As we speak, and I think about it this way: on one hand, I listen and I can hear the death cry of a dying paradigm,
Old world. Okay.
death pangs.
So now, very quickly, let's move to Panama. Why is the Panama nation so significant? You're working with them.
Well, because in the prophecy of the Mayan, it said that this shall start in the center.
And that's the
And
central
that's the center.
connecting
And
point.
also at the place where Mother Earth was cut in half.
And wasn't she?
in
Panama
Canal. That's why our offices are at the City of Knowledge, which so strangely is built upon the former Clayton
military camp.
base, the main Caribbean command
Right?
of the U.S. military.
It's
which-
perfect, right?
It's perfect. We have 4 fiber optic lines and 250 NGOs there.
I love it.
And so we're the only indigenous NGO. We're working with the 7 comarcas of 7 nations of Panama.
Okay. So now, very quickly, let's get these 16 principles in. So give us a little introduction on the 16 principles.
Well, in 1982, we brought together this very historic gathering of 40 elders that
Okay.
represented indigenous peoples from across.
And you were instrumental in putting that together.
Yes, it was done at the University of Lethbridge. At that time, I
Where
was
you were.
associate professor there in the
Okay.
Faculty of Education. We call them together for 4 days and 4 nights.
Okay.
All different languages, all different perspectives. But in essence, what they said was so simple yet so profound for
Which
our
was?
understanding.
Okay.
And that's this. This universe we live in is organized according to certain natural, physical, and spiritual laws.
Okay.
The physical laws are easy to understand. You jump off a 10-story building, your head,
Right.
you'll get a headache.
Okay.
You drive 100 miles an hour into a concrete
Right.
wall, you get smashed
We're
up.
going to run out of time, but I
But
need you to get on the 16 principles.
We also have principles that guide how we grow and develop as human beings.
Very good. Okay.
So it's starting from within, in
Okay.
essence,
All right.
working in a circle,
Okay.
in a sacred manner. We heal ourselves, our relationships, and the world.
Okay.
And so these principles took us more than 12 years of intense consultation before they were delivered to the United Nations in 1985.
And now you get to hear them. Okay.
Now you get to hear them.
All right. Shoot.
From development comes from within. Others can help and assist, but it must be
So is that number one?
number one.
Okay, number one. Number
Development
two.
comes no vision, no development.
No vision, no development. Number two.
Human beings can heal their world.
Absolutely. We're doing
They
it.
can
Number
heal
three.
their world.
Number three.
Healing is a necessary part of development.
Absolutely. The psychological, physical, mental, emotional. Okay.
Culture,
Number four.
culture is a part of development. We must respect people's culture, the good
Everybody's
parts
culture.
of cultures.
Yes, and you must know your culture.
Yes. No
Okay.
participation, no development.
Yes. And no one culture is better than another. Okay.
Exactly.
Number five.
Number 5, justice.
Yes.
Justice.
Reparations. That's what you
Justice.
did. I
Justice.
love it. Okay.
We must have this new civilization bounded in justice.
And we must recognize and honor what we've done to and genocide all over the world must be
Yes,
recognized.
yes. No unity, no development.
There you go. Number 6.
Be the change you want to see.
Gandhi. Love it.
Gandhi, but that the best way to move forward is to role model or create models of what it is you want to see happen.
Got it.
Right.
Number 7. All right.
Move to the positive.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's how you do it. All the work you're
Move
done.
to the positive.
Focusing on
Stand
the positive.
in your strength that you have. Don't give away your energy fighting the negative, and move towards the alternative. You
See the
wish
goal.
to create.
Okay. Martin Luther King, keep your eyes on the prize. Okay.
Yes.
Number
We're
8.
spiritual as well as physical beings.
Absolutely. And in America, we want to deny that. What's up with that?
We're
Okay.
spiritual as well
We're
as physical.
spiritual. Okay.
As well as physical beings.
Number 9.
There is a moral dimension to development.
Hello. Okay.
That you cannot build individuals, you cannot build societies on dishonesty.
Thank you.
We
And
have
without
to have
transparency.
values. We have to have a moral
Integrity.
foundation.
Yes.
Integrity.
Thank
These
you.
things that we have to have in order to grow and to develop.
Hallelujah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Number 9.
The hurt of one is a hurt of all.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's so
yes.
and the
beautiful.
Martin
honor
Luther
of
King
one
talked about
is
that.
the honor of all.
Yes.
That
Okay.
we have to understand that.
And injustice anywhere in the world is a threat to justice anywhere in the world. Martin
Right.
Luther King. Okay. Number 10.
Seek to understand before seeking to be understood.
Hello.
St. Francis,
Oh
that-
my God, that's
St.
so
Francis,
beautiful.
right?
I think so, but I live by that. You know,
Yes.
seek to understand why people are behaving the way
Before
that they
seeking to be understood.
behave. Yes. Okay. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. Healing is a natural
Number
part
12.
of development.
Yes, it is.
We have to heal
Yes.
broken trust.
Yes.
We have to
That's
heal.
why I became a social psychologist, because I knew you can't give people a pill and say, okay, you're being beaten, women, you know, just take a pill and that violence will go away. No, we got to deal with the root cause of violence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's interrelated to everything else.
Okay, 13. Okay.
Everything's related to everything else.
14.
That we have to move forward with forgiveness
Oh, my
and
God.
compassion
Without
and love.
that, yes.
Without that, we cannot heal.
Yes. 15. I might have lost count.
I think
We're going to
but-
have all the 16
but-
principles on your site.
Okay,
I
we'll post them all
yes,
on,
and
on
also,
Divine Love
also
Talk.
we have these so many materials at our site, and we'll send the links.
Okay, now which site is it? FWII.net?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so go to FWII.net. Are those 16 principles
16
already
principles
there?
are there. We'll
All
send
right.
you a link
and
to
then
those.
I will post them on Divine Love Talk. And remember, okay, on Divine Love Talk, we're going to give you a free pass to that incredible movie, Shift of the Ages that you produced it?
Yes.
Okay, the chief...
With a great director, Stephen
huge
Copeland,
team.
and Tata Alejandro
Oh, my
from
God.
the Mayans. There's another film we want to make a link to
Yes.
you to. It's called Healing the Hurts.
Yes.
It was the film that set off the whole residential school healing in Canada that resulted in a $3.5 billion settlement to the survivors of residential schools, a $500 million healing fund, a Truth and Reconciliation Commission for 5 years, went across Canada, and now a major museum is being built with repositories of all those things that happened,
Oh, my
the
God.
massive sexual
The
abuse,
truth has to
the
be
physical
told.
abuse, absolutely.
Yes.
And the elders prophesied that this would happen,
Yes.
that this...
So important that we honor
Absolutely.
the truth of
But-
what people have suffered.
But also to recognize that in a way, this has all been a part of our becoming.
Yes.
When we go
I got
into
it.
into a sacred ceremony, we go there and we hold on to our prayers, we suffer. In a way, we've been through a 500-year Sundance or a 500-year
Right?
sweat lodge
Yeah.
or a 500-year
My
ceremony.
life feels like that.
Exactly. But we've held on. We've continued to
Yes.
pray. We've continued to have faith.
And bless you.
And out of this, we've come out of
doing that.
here, out of this process, stronger
Yes,
than ever. That's important to
absolutely.
understand.
Yes.
We are stronger than ever.
And it's after every dark night of the soul when I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm so broken. I'm not going to get through this. How am I ever going to be the same again? And after every dark night, I come out of it stronger and better.
Absolutely.
But when I'm in it, I don't think I'm going to come out.
But to
Absolutely.
the depth of your suffering is the depth of your wisdom. So it goes
Yes.
in the vertical.
Yes.
So those who have suffered
Absolutely.
the most have the wisest advice to share with our communities.
And
Thank
that's
you.
what Bhagavan told me at Oneness University. He said, my blessing, my Diksha blessing would be stronger than my teachers because I had suffered so much as a child, going from poverty to Ph.D. on my own with no
Yes.
help and all of the physical, mental, and emotional abuse that I dealt with and still able to love and forgive. It was a tough journey.
And I would say every human being in their path have suffered.
Yes.
And that's
in
why
some
we
way.
talk about we're carrying this out in the fourth way. The first way is assimilation.
Yes.
Throughout his assimilation, resignation, giving up, continue to have conflict. But the fourth way is the way of peace.
I love it. Tina, what would you like to leave the audience with?
Well, I would like to tell everybody that if they actually put in an hour and a half every morning, that they would get 15 years on the back end of their life, 15 more
believe
birthdays,
that.
15 more Christmases. And that's really what it's about is what you put into your body temple is really important because it fortifies not only
Yeah.
your body, but your mind, your mental, and your soul.
And Buddha said your body is your vehicle for enlightenment, so you should take care of it.
Absolutely.
And Chief Lane, I'm so grateful and so honored, and I'm going to do a series on you because we got a lot in today,
Yes.
but there's so much more. This man's biography is so long. I'm serious. We have to do a whole show just on that. But what would you like to leave the audience with other than I'm going to suggest that everybody rush out and get this book for your children, for yourself, to gain a better understanding of all what's happening in the world and your place in it at fwii.net, and please donate to this amazing work that the chief and all of the indigenous people of the earth that he's brought together are doing to bring unity and harmony back to this planet.
I would say that we have to understand each and every one of us, that each of us is a sovereignty,
A little bit louder.
ancient, imperishable, and everlasting, and that we each are sacred beings. We're all indigenous people of Mother Earth.
Yes.
And that all of us have a responsibility to do all we can to serve the human family, to serve our families, to be able to stand up and ensure that we can protect and restore the sacredness of all life, including recognizing that in the seat of our soul in every way.
And, you know, there is so much work to do with the poisoning of the food, the air, and the water on this planet. And this year, I dedicated the theme of the show to the possibility of peace in our lifetime and a world without war. And then here you are, you're doing the same work. And all of the indigenous people are saying it is possible in this lifetime.
But For us, we say it's not only possible, it is inevitable.
It's
Inevitable. I love
It's inevitable.
it. It's inevitable.
It's happening.
It's happening,
It's happening.
and we will come to this new global civilization of peace based in understanding the oneness of the human family, in which all human beings are treated with respect and kindness and compassion and justice.
Yes, justice. What a concept.
Exactly. Because every human being has a right to clean drinking water. Every human
Absolutely.
being has a right, as a
To
divine
clean
being,
air.
to clean air, to have
To not be
education for their
poisoned.
children.
Yes,
All of us as human beings have this right.
yes.
And
Claim
especially,
it.
number one, in order to do this, we have to stop oppressing 50% of the world's population.
Women.
Women.
Yes.
This has to end.
And the abuse of our children.
Absolutely.
Child abuse in America is higher than anywhere on the planet. I mean, it's insane. And it's still like this dirty little secret. But it's, yes.
We pray for the children every morning.
Yes.
Every morning we pray for the children and the healing of
And
the seven
tonight
generations.
we'll be praying all night.
all night long.
Yes,
More
for the
dancing.
whole world. Yes.
That's right.